Extreme heat. Hello there, Dragonfly 17. Good morning, you all. It's Rosie, you galloping like a horse. Okay, you come on in with that little tail wagging up in the air, Rosie, honey. You can do it. She was. I heard something galloping across the horse. She runs like a horse. She runs like a horse. You are extreme heat. And there is no doubt about it. You know it's coming. Good morning. Hello, Ronnie. Francisco Xavier. Hello. Let me just see how hot it is outside. I've already walked on the treadmill this morning, 2.7 miles. I thought that's enough for me. It's not too hot yet, you all, but it's going to get, I guess it's going to get a little bit humid. Just think if you're somewhere you don't have shade trees, it's going to get a whole lot more. Whoa, that humidity is kind of high. 85 degrees. I don't, let's listen to what, Rosie, what are you doing? You're running around like a wild woman. Come on, Rosie. Sometimes I like to chase Rosie. It gets her excited. Good morning. Good morning, Joyce Lynn. Okay, let's see what he has to say, because I don't normally listen to anything he has to say, but I want to see what's going on. I want to know what's going on in this world to a degree, because it's having a real world effect on us, Shua. So let's listen to it. Okay.
Good afternoon. I don't think anybody can deny the impact of climate change anymore. There used to be a lot of time when I first got here, a lot of people said, oh, it's not a problem. Well, I don't know anybody, I shouldn't say that. I don't know anybody who honestly believes climate change is not a serious problem. Just take a look at the historic floods in Vermont and California earlier this year. Droughts and hurricanes that are growing more frequent and intense. Wildfires spreading as smoke.
Can you hear him even though my reflection is showing up on his suit? Can y'all hear what he's having to say? I don't know how to make him sound a little bit higher, a little bit louder. Hello, Debbie McClure. That's perfect. We can hear what we can hear. My reflection, I'm gonna overlay him with my reflection. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm overlay him.
Smoky haze for thousands of miles, worsening air quality. The record temperatures, and I mean record, are now affecting more than 100 million Americans. The number one weather-related killer is heat. The number one weather-related killer is heat. 600 people die annually from its effects, more than from floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes in America combined. Even those places that are used to extreme heat have never seen it hot as it is now for as long as it's been. Even those who deny that we're in the midst of a climate crisis can't deny the impact of extreme heat is having on Americans. Experts say extreme heat is already costing America $100 billion a year and hits our most vulnerable the hardest. Today I'm announcing additional steps to help states and cities deal with the consequences of extreme heat. Part of the reason we're here today is to get word out so state and local governments know these resources are available and uses them. I want the American people to know help is here, and we're going to make it available to anyone who needs it.
I don't even know what the help would have been, you all. I have no idea. Do you know what the help is? Because I don't know. Are you getting help? Now, truly, you need water if you're out in that heat. Well, he was reading something in front of him, but I'm not
in the Southwest this summer thus far has been the.
I'm not sure what they're going to do about it. I really am not. I mean, you can have water and stuff. You can have water. You just don't get in your vehicle traveling without water. Do not do it. Especially if you're going to be somewhere and it's really hot and you're on the road, you better make sure you have a lot of water in your vehicle. Because if you're stranded out there for a while on the highway, stop the trailing. Well, there was shadowing up here. There was. When I looked out the window a while ago, there was a lot of shadowing taking place. is so bright. I can't look at it, but it's up there and it's extremely bright. There was shadowing along the whites. It is. I feel like I'm under a magnifying glass, you all. Rosie, honey, you can't run around in the sun like you used to. You can't. You got to just lay there. And it's okay, Rosie, honey. You go ahead. You lay there on the porch where it's kind of cool, and you just doze off. Take a doze off. Bonjour. Angel Wings, honey, what did you say? We thought the Atlantean stopped by dropping that. That's right. They're very hot. Tea, honey? Yeah. It's inside your apartment. Oh my gosh, Ahava, you are. It's 110 inside the apartment in Ahava's apartment building, and the only building that has no AC because somebody tried to blow it up. Our building for a math lab, and others have AC until I have to sleep into the day. Wow, that is extremely hot. Real hot, you all. Oh my, I'd have to have all my clothes wet. I'd have to have my hair wet. And if you had a fan, I guess I had to have the fan blowing. At least you get the wet from there. So you don't literally burn up. Josie, honey, Joey, does anybody want to dance? Well, what? Listen to this. Oh no, I want to hear what he had to say. Global, no, let's listen to global boiling. Are they telling us we're going to boil? I want to hear. Now they're saying we're going to boil.
Around the world, the UN Secretary General is urging world leaders to act and prevent worse.
Climate change is here, it is terrifying, and it is just the beginning. The era of global warming has ended, the era of global boiling has arrived.
The UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is one of the world's most recognised scientific bodies on global warming. Earlier this year, it released a report highlighting the devastating impact of climate change, as well as detailing cost-effective actions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The IPCC reports provide crucial input into international negotiations on just how the world responds. And our next guest is stepping up to lead the organisation at a time when those conversations are more important than ever.
Global boiling. I have never heard those two words or read those two words together. Boiling. Boiling like a frog in a pan. Is that what it is? Yeah, heat the water, the frog is in the pan, and then it starts boiling. That's it's really graphic. Gina, do you think they mean what they say? Absolutely, I think they mean what they say. You know what you should do? Your dashboard on your vehicle, that gets like 150 some odd degrees. They were talking about how hot your steering wheel gets and stuff. I forget what that was. You should probably stick some water outside and see if you can get it to boil. Now, if you had your water in a metal pan and the sun's beating down on it, your water is going to boil because that pan's going to stay hot. You could cook an egg on the sidewalk. You probably could. I cooked an egg on the top of our vehicle too in Nevada. I just now remembered that. This black truck we had, it was a 1993 Ford F-150 extended cab. We had a big old thing on the back. When it would get so hot, I think can I fry this egg on this truck too? I did, and it just like did that. Let's hear the global boiling. This is serious. It doesn't matter how it's happening. We're going to feel the effect of it. Let's hear it.
Jim Ski is the new chair of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, and he joins us now. Jim, fantastic to have you on the show. Congratulations on the new role. I hope you're not daunted because, oh boy, does the world and you yourself and your leadership have a challenge ahead. Talk me through what the plan is.
Well, I've just
Well, I've just woken up on the last 2 mornings to realise just the scale of the responsibility that's facing me. But I guess I'm really up to it. Now, the job of the IPCC is to provide advice to the UN and to the governments of the world about climate change and the kind of climate action that can follow the very clear evidence that we're getting at the moment. And I think we've done that. You know, 5 years ago, we produced a special report on global warming of 1.5 degrees. We put the concept of net zero emissions on the map, and now that's been followed up by governments. So now we need is the kind of evidence that supports the actual action that will allow all these goals to be met.
I mean, a lot of people looking around the world would say we're seeing the evidence now for our own eyes. Skeptics would say, hey, we've had hot summers, we've had flooding in the past. Have we got enough evidence now to justify more action? Because that's surely what's required.
We absolutely have the evidence. I mean, our last report said that the evidence for human beings on the climate is absolutely unequivocal, and all of the countries in the world signed up to that. So following on from that action, and what we're seeing at the moment in terms of extreme weather and wildfires has been predicted by IPCC, but I have to say it appears to be happening more quickly than we expected. And on current trends, you know, it's only going to get worse. It's going to get more frequent and it's going to get more extreme with dire effects on people's lives.
Okay, y'all, let me do this because something else might pop up. Now he's got some more stuff. What's he saying now, you all? Extension cord safety guide. If you don't know how to use your extension cord, they're talking about that.
And finally, on First
more.
Move, we've been calling it Swiftonomics, Taylor Swift's own.
No, I don't want to see her.
Thanks to her sellout.
Okay, you also boil it. Gina, honey, what you got this pointed up at your ceiling? And yeah, I noticed the dust was up there and the cobwebs. And if I wanted to, I could climb up there and do it. I'm hungry. Climate, or what's they call it? Climate boiling? You're going to boil? So do we have enough evidence to implement what they say, the controls that are needed, the steps that are needed to combat it? Do we have enough? You all, it's coming out really. They wait till the weekend, everybody's at home, so you can watch the news. That's right, I'm not responsible, but you live in this world, Gina. You are responsible. You were born, so you're taking up, you're producing something, Gina. I'm producing love, L-O-V-E, get you some today on the inside. That's right, don't be telling us light beings, these beings of light, all of us, that we're the problem. But yeah, we are the problem because we're standing in your way. We are. You all, they're not joking. They really are not joking. The global boiling, they're telling you how hot it's going to get. Boiling is more than record heat. Boiling is a big old step up. But Gina, honey, you can't believe everything they say. I know they're going to make it happen. It's going to happen, you all. They're going to have to implement controls to control us from making it hotter, you all. This is like out here. It's extremely hot. I remember one time in Nevada, my son was real little. It was hot out. He was around maybe 1.5 years old or so. And there was this playground, and they had this metal slide. Gina, that's a big no-no. I know it's a big no-no. Well, my daughter went down it, and then I went down it with my son, and it had like this over thing, you know, little tunnel thing. It was metal too. And I was holding him, and he was leaning toward the side a little bit, and you all, it's horrific. It is so horrific. He hit his head, thanks to you, Gina, right there, the little round thing on the slide, and blood was gushing out of his head. My husband was, I guess he was off in Korea, I think he was. So I put my son in the car seat and my daughter in her seat too, and we went to the hospital. Blood was rolling down his poor little head, And my daughter was screaming and crying because her brother's head was like bleeding. We got to the hospital. It was in Las Vegas. I went to the nearest one that I could find. There was a waiting room of people. There was a man up there next at the reception desk. And I'm sitting here holding my like 1.5-year-old son. Blood's rolling down his face, and he's a big boy. He's a big, but he was always a big boy. I mean, he's not big. He was a big man on the inside, like a little man inside of his body, strong. The blood was just rolling down, and she said, well, you're just going to have to sign in, and you have to wait your turn. And the blood is literally running down from his head. It's a big gash. And this guy looks at her, and he said, oh, no, he's not. He goes, honey, you're going to take my number. You're going to take that little boy back there, and you're going to fix him. So I was thankful to God that he did that. That woman was going to make me go sit there with my son's. So they took him back there. And when he got to the emergency room on the table, they laid him on the table. He sat there with his arms folded and stretched. He wasn't crying. He was going. And this woman was she was cutting the blue jean leg off of this guy who had a motorcycle accident and trying to dig out the gravel in his legs. She came over there and she said, oh, you poor little thing. And his guts were kind of hanging out. And she sewed him up. But I went down that slide, and it was hot, but then I leaned a little bit too far. He has that scar till today, then another day at my mother's. As he got a little bit older, you know how the corner of your cabinet, Gina, you're talking about climate change. Well, I'm talking about blood and gore now. The corner of my parents' kitchen when my son was like around 5 years old, it was sticking out, and all of his cousins were there. They were having a good time. He ran into the corner right there again. And the blood was just rolling out of his head. And it was kind of cool. My mom and dad were across the road visiting my aunt. And then I needed a jacket for my son. And I remember his cousin, he said he got really upset because his mother put the jacket on my son. He was bawling because he didn't want blood to get on his jacket. So me and my sister took him to the hospital in Charlestown. And there he laid on that bed like a little man with his arms crossed. Same thing, guts. And sewing up his head again. That was the end of it, you all. But how did I get on it? I got on it because the slides. Don't take your kids to the park and expect them to get on a slide when it's so hot outside. You're going to cause first degree, maybe second degree burns on their body. Don't do like I did. My son only took one time. He was sitting on my lap, but he busted his head. It felt really bad. Obviously, I did feel bad because it's a memory that I'm not going to forget. And that woman who told me take a seat, more or less, you had to wait your turn with your child. Hello. So we're going to have some global boiling. That's right. Frank Honey, super hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico with all the extra hot water. We're going to see extreme weather events, you all. There is no doubt about it. If you're just tuning in, yeah. What was I saying yesterday on this porch? Walking back and forth, talking. You better get done whatever you got to get done. You don't got no time to spare. You do not have time to spare. You can't hold time in your hands. You can't. It's like holding oil, trying to grasp oil. It's going to slip right through your hands. Get done whatever you need to get done. Don't be putting things up. Don't put them off, y'all. Get it done. All it takes is one edict, one rubber stamp of an order, and then boom, you're going to be locked down. Because you moving around, your cars are making heat and stuff like that, according to the experts. You're really making it heat up even more. You may have to be having curfews. Really, Gina, you just no, I'm not making it up. Curfews. You don't want curfews. You don't want to be confined to certain quadrants, certain things where you can't cross. It's like okay, just think of this. When there's a snowstorm and the roads are icy, right now, you are not allowed to get out on the road when whatever, when they issue the thing, there is no one to be out on the road except for an emergency. If you caught out on the road, the police will give you a ticket. They do that for the weather, the ice and stuff, because, you know, there's more accidents occurred and you're endangering other people's lives and your life. Why wouldn't they do it for the climate? Okay, really, why wouldn't they? You could have a heat stroke in your car. What if an EMP happened up there or something else, a great big like Harrington-like event, you're stuck in your car, you wasn't supposed to go out, you're stuck in your car, boom, you're stuck on that road. Now you're really in trouble. You want to know this global boiling. I'm not going to forget that now. 2 words put together, global boiling. Boil them alive. Boil them from the inside out. Because if I was to sit there in that sun, it would burn my skin. If I laid out in it, it wouldn't take long before I probably have blisters. You know, if you've been out in the sun when you was younger, you was out in the sun having to work or stuff, there's people who get blisters on their bodies. But you'd have to be out there for a long time. Well, the sun's heat is a lot hotter now. You don't want to be a global boiling person. Kathy, honey, oh, I like that global bull shift. That's a good way to put out what you want. It's having a real world effect, regardless. It is. We're going to have to face the implications of what is out there. We're going to have to face it. We are. There's just no way around it. And when they implement what they implement, yeah, you all. When they implement what they implement, their word will be law. It will. And you're going to have to do what you can do to survive. You are. You're going to have to make the best of it. You know, how can you say that with a smile on your face? Because I'm not going to let them make my vibration go down like that. I'm not. I don't have to. I can look around. I can see they're telling you what they're going to do. So you better prepare because they're preparing to do it. That's the thing. If they're preparing, if they're telling you that there are plans that are going to be implemented, she said, is this enough documentation for you to take action? Do you have enough information, documentation now to take action on this extreme crisis that we've got? They got it. So they're telling you they are about to take the action. When that happens, it may happen very fast and may catch you off guard. So now's your time to prepare because you don't have any time left. You better do what you can do. Get done whatever you have to get done. Tie up the loose ends that you got to tie up in your life. Get your house in order. Get your physical house in order. Get your spiritual house in order. Get your relationships in order, you all. You better start forming your community bonds. You can. You better get it ready, you all. It's, no. I mean, we got this YouTube community too, you all. You've got to get ready. You better make sure you have the tools to survive and the knowledge and the support. You need strong support systems to make it through times like this. We really, really do. We may not have the internet forever. And you may plan on, well, it's like when a hurricane strikes. They know the hurricane is coming, and it's a big, whatever, 5. I don't know I haven't been watching the scales of the hurricane. But when something's making a beeline right for you and they're telling everybody to evacuate, and some people are waiting to the last minute, you know what happens when you wait to the last minute. Everybody's on the highway at the same time, and you got a big bottleneck. We got massive congestion. Nobody goes nowhere really fast. You got to beat it. You got to get out there before that happens. You don't want to get stranded like that. And you see it in the movies. Everybody's trying to leave at once and everybody's in gridlock. Then accidents occur. Then nobody goes nowhere. And you can't get no emergency trucks to move the stuff out of the way. You cannot. You're stuck. I tell you what, if that was me, I'd make sure I have a bug out bag in my car. I'm going to make sure I have some good sturdy shoes. I'm going to make sure I have whatever I need. I hope I make sure I do that because I do have bug out bags and I used to travel with them when I'd go to my work. Good sturdy shoes. Make sure you got water. Get whatever you need. You don't want to be over heavy, but you better be prepared to walk on foot because If you have to, you better get while the getting's good. And not very many people are in shape to be able to do that, especially with the extreme heat. Global boiling, danger, stop, there is danger ahead. There is danger. It's grave, grave danger. They may hype it up, but you better listen to the hype. Gina, honey, you're for it. No, I'm not for it. You better listen to what they said. When they did the food chain reaction game and the inflation in that over a course of several years, it got up to around 400 to 500%. The inflation on food, and they threw in all kinds of stuff in this game. And it's like the game of Risk. You have all this stuff happen in the food chain reaction game. You had the climate crisis, you had pandemics, you had wars, you had civil unrest, you had natural disasters. You had it all getting you all at once, and the countries had to decide how were they going to deal with it. Well, now we got this right here that's coming, and I think that's part of the game too. I really do, because that the food chain reaction game, it went into, I think, 2025 and 2026. It was only a few years, and they did their little Monopoly game. I mean, whether it's real or not, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's having a real world effect. Gina, how can you say it doesn't matter? In the big picture, I look at the big picture, the effect. It's like you find yourself in a situation, you ain't got time to sit there and think, well, how did I get here? No, you want to get yourself out of that situation. You ain't going to waste your time wondering, how did I get here? You want to make preparations to get yourself out of here. At that point, it's too late. It is. No, I'm not going to sit and think, how did I get here? No, you better get ready now. Get yourself ready. They got global boiling coming. Global boiling. It's like boiling in a boiling pan. And just think of the animals and the waters. What if the waters dry up? The earth is scorched. What's that thing? Scorched earth. That is actually a battle plan. I got to get a drink of this water. The scorched earth thing. The military will scorch the earth. Gina, honey, you don't? Yeah, I do. It is. You heard the scorched earth theory? It goes right around with this. We have a lot of cares around here. Debbie McClure, honey, I bet you do. You will. I've been to Death Valley, and it was very hot. And it was very like, there's nothing there. There really isn't. Let me see if I can do the scorched earth theory here. I want to get Taylor Swift out of there. The people get corrupted in Hollywood. They do. Gina, that's not nice to say. Well, they do. It's like the innocence gets stolen. And then voila. Scorched earth theory. Scorched earth. Oh, they military. Look, the scorched earth policy is a military strategy that aims to destroy anything that might be useful to the enemy. Well, what enemy are you talking about? How did you get an enemy? This may include natural resources, military equipment, communication sites, industrial resources. It may be implemented by an army advancing through enemy territory to punish resistance and reduce the enemy's capability, or by a retreating army to leave nothing of military value to the opposing force. If it is a last resort strategy and can be thought of as a final desperate attempt to fend off the advances of a hostile, unwanted predator. Well, if you want to look at this from a UFO point of view, an otherworldly point of view, something's coming back to destroy those who destroy the earth. Really, destroy those who destroy the earth. Something's coming back. The Chinese burnt all the crops and destroyed the infrastructure in 1937. I'm not really a history bluff, They destroy the infrastructure like cities to sabotage the logistics of the advancing forces. In military theory, it's indefensive, just as offensive warfare. It's necessary to pursue great aim, the destruction of the enemy army, either by battle or rendering us the exist substance extremely difficult. Thus we shall disorganize it and force it into a retreat, which will be necessary to suffer great losses, you all. All that the country yields will be taken for the benefit of the retreating army first, consumed, and nothing will be remained but wasted villages and towns and fields and crops that have been gathered and trampled on, empty wells, muddy brooks. Pursuing army, therefore, from the very first day has frequently contended with the most pressing wants, you all. It's playing throughout history. It is. All of these wars before. Notable historic examples: the invasion of Russia by Charles the 12th, the French invasion of Russia, the German invasion, Operation Barbarossa, Sherman's march to the sea, they did it too, the American Civil War, Kit Carson, the Navajo Wars, they did it to them too, Lord Kitchener's whatever, that happened, the Anglo-Boer War, this is a war tactic, but it's happening regardless. It is. You got to prepare. We got extreme heat. You just read someone in here. Nahava, in her apartment or his apartment, it's 110 degrees. The only one without air conditioning. You can't sleep until the nighttime. 110 degrees. And there's no escape from the heat. There isn't. You can't escape the heat. If you got anything to do, you better get it done. Don't be putting it up. You think you got all the time in the world. You don't got all the time in the world. You don't. I got lots of things I want to do around the house, and lots of things I need to do in the house, outside the house, around the house. I don't have enough Ginas to do it, okay? I don't have enough hands. I know it's going to be impossible for me to physically get everything done that I want to get done. I know it is, but I'm going to do the most important things. I am. You can prepare. Preparing is better than not preparing. Fix the things you can. Get the things in order that you can get in order. Get your life in order. That way you remain balanced on the inside. You want to be balanced and peaceful and right there so that you can think straight, really, going forward. You don't want to have scattered thoughts because scattered thoughts is disorganization in your mind and you ain't got no room for it. You don't. You don't. They're not playing. This is not a game. This is very, very serious. Global boiling. And do they have enough documentation and information now, the news reporter asked the guy heading the climate thing, to take action? And he said, yes, we do. So there's lots of theories roaming around the internet of what might happen, that what could happen, that quite possibly will happen. And if the big ifs happen, you've got to be prepared because they're not playing with you. This is not a game. I'll never look at it as a game. I won't look at it as a game. It's war. It's war, what's happening to the earth. The earth is under attack. Humanity's under attack. You just got to prepare yourself. I mean, it's hard. I mean, you try to do what you got the UFO traveling under cover of a storm. Of course, we've seen these in the sky. You've seen this. If you've seen this in the sky and it appeared like a great big line in the sky, it's a great big round disc-shaped UFO. It is. Make sure you drink plenty of water. You don't want to dehydrate. If you got to get any shelf-stable food, get it while the getting's good because the prices are going up by the day. And it's going to get to the point where you go to the store and you ain't going to be able to find even what you do want. You better make your list. Sometimes you need a list. You can't just wing it. I do a lot of winging it. My daughter likes to do lists. There's lots of people who do lists. That way they don't forget what they need or want. Yeah, and don't go to that grocery store while you're hungry. Eat something before you go because your hunger is going to influence you with that food like that. Stay close to Jesus, you all. You got to be balanced on the inside of here. Spiritual realm, absolutely. I totally agree with it. You got to become the spiritual warriors. That's right. Manifesting in the real world, you can do it. You are doing it. I'm doing it. You're doing it. We are doing it. We know what's happening in the spiritual realm. There is a hostile force that is out there, several. And there are battles taking place. Just might as well admit it. There's battles taking place. It's the good against the bad, the dark and the light. The hostile forces are the enemy forces, and there's some who have joined with them. What does this guy say on the Lord of the Rings? We must join with Sauron or whoever. It would be wise, oh friend. He's telling Gandalf that we must join forces with him, the Dark Lord who wants to take over the earth. And he's trying to get Gandalf the Grey to join. And Gandalf refuses, so that guy gets mad. And he takes his staff, and they battle it out with their staffs. And just when Gandalf thought he got him, he woke up and caught Gandalf off guard when he was just sighing, and then boom. Then he twirled him around and around and around and stuck him on the top of the tower thing out there. And he could see all the armies of the earth, and he saw this little butterfly, and he spoke to the butterfly, and it went off, I guess, to get the birds. The birds, the thunderbirds, you are those great big bird beings that could pick up humans and carry them, because they don't like the darkness either. So there are other life forms according to that movie. Gina, it's just a movie. No, there's the big birds like that. If you got dragons, mythical dragons, you got great big gigantic birds that could be mythical that would, and it was a battle of 5 armies. I don't know if that's symbolic to the number of races on the earth of aliens that is said to be 5 different species. Is there, you all? Because there's dominant species on this earth, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the battle of the 5 armies. That's rainbow turtle. That's you can say whoops, love. That's right. We know what you mean when you talk about love. You hear the birds over your house 7 times, 7 at a time. You need to go, Frank Cooper, honey. You got to go to the store and you get a Powerball ticket. And I hope you get that $1 billion. You come see Gina, honey. That's right. You bring that money and you come see Gina, honey. Of course, you can't buy me with money. No, nobody's going to buy me with money. Nobody can buy the love. No. Yeah, you come visit me, Frank, if you win that Powerball, because I'd be really happy for you. I really would. I have a big smile on my face. Grand rising. Yeah, I hope you do. If words are powerful, so boom, you can get it done. But get your full armor of God on you all. You're going to need it. Don't take it off. You need it every single day of your life, and get your body in shape. If you need to lose some extra pounds, do what you can to lose them. Watch what you eat, and move around. Get your body moving, because you're going to have to be moving more. And you want to have more energy. The more you get in shape, the more energy you're going to have. That's right. Yes. Everybody gets a new car. Oh, we don't need a new car. We want some love. Love. We want a peace of mind and love. New cars ain't going to catch it. That's right. You got to have some survival gear, Frank, honey. You got to get you some tents and things like that. You get you a piece of land. You got to do all of that. That's okay. Earth 11 or Faith 11. Yeah, that's quite all right. You are working on your body. Psychic Kimmy, I'm working on my body too. That's why I thought I'm going to walk on the treadmill. I might start. I've got things that I can, like, muscle has memory. That's what I was told. It has memory. And you can get your muscles back in shape. You can make them whatever. I'm going to start doing my one thing. Just little bitty dumbbells. or I can just do push-ups. I would do 10 men's push-ups every morning. That way I could press my body weight. I haven't done it in a long time. And I'd do 40 leg lifts for my legs and my stomach and 10 squats and just walk. I would walk a mile a day. But yeah, anything's better than nothing, you all. It's really good. If you can push your body up off the ground in men's push-ups, you're doing really good. You are. That way you can lift a lot. You got it. Sit-ups. Oh, wow. That's right, for your jelly belly looking good. Amy, that's perfect. You went for a longer walk today, Penny, honey. That's right. You do it. That's right. Somebody already won $1 billion. Yeah, there's a proverb. What good is money in the hand of a fool, because they will not use it to get wisdom. Yeah. And cast but a glance at riches, they'll surely sprout wings and fly away. They will. It ain't going to save you in the day of wrath. It might make your life a little bit more comfortable, might help you to prepare. It might, but you got to have wisdom. You got to know what to do with the resources you got. But we got global boiling. The sun is super hot, you all. You got to get ready. You do. I think the grapes are still there on the vine. I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me, man or woman, and I am them, they'll bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. I want to see if I can get some grapes. Where was the cluster of grapes? It was right here. Where can I, yeah, these are really nice grapes, you all. They're great big clusters of grapes. Better than the ones in the store. I get this one and this one. And this one. 3 grapes. And they're sweet. Mmm. Yeah. They're nice and sweet. Juicy. Mm-hmm. I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer will you be my baby. I heard it from the grapevine. And I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, honey, babe. That'd be a good song to dance to. I could dance to it because I like the beat, the type of beat. I gotta have a beat. I heard it through the grapevine. Yeah. I'm gonna try to remember that, but I gotta be in the mood to dance to the grapevine. Yeah. Hello in Texas, Nick, honey. It would. That's right. We can dance to the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine, and I'm just about to lose my mind. Honey, honey, babe. Yeah. Can I make myself go up there and do that? Record myself right now? First, I got to record the song, and then I got to save it to my computer. Then I got to pull up my camera, and then I got to record me. Then I got to crop me. I don't have to do all that other stuff in the background, but I could do it and dance. A blackjack gator, honey, you're surprised that the raccoons and chipmunks, they did last year. They ate them all up, is what they did. That's right. A lot of people are losing their mind, and you know, you have the sun doing its thing. It's really heating up. It's mad. It is. I'm gonna go, but we got global boiling coming on. I might try to go up there while I feel it. It's good to get rid of the stress in your body. Dancing to the heard it through the grapevine. Yeah, I can't promise anything. Do the locomotion with me. Yes. Now remember those. You remember that. If it's got a good beat, I have to feel it's got to have like a jungle-like beat to it. I can't do no clanging and banging and whatever. No, I got to have a boom, boom, boom so I can move my body. I can. Yeah, I got to go, you all. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. We got the global boiling coming on. We gotta have to dance. We gotta dance to the grapevine if I can make myself do it, if I don't get interrupted. Love you.